When I picture a villain, I usually picture a stereotyped cartoon character with thick eyebrows and a maniacal laugh. Like most people, what I don't picture is myself. So, at FAU, when I was cast as my first villain, 14-year-old Mary Tilford in the Children's Hour, I had no clue how to play this non-stereotyped villain, whose sociopathic manipulation is so dangerous, it causes another character to commit suicide. As actors, we are tasked to bring truthfulness to imaginary characters by empathizing with them, not judging them, also known as the magic if. If I were in this character's situation, what would I do? So, to embrace Mary's magic if, I studied sociopathic behavior and the brain's limbic system, which is responsible for human nature. Now, Stanislavski, the father of modern acting technique and the magic if, says a villain does not know that he or she is a villain, which is the non-scientific way of saying the human limbic system wires us to be inherently subjective. So, using this research, I not only began to empathize with Mary, I also discovered 3 ways in which understanding a villain's perspective can have a universal application. First, it teaches audiences about a darker side of humanity not often explored. In theater, we don't work with quantitative numbers. Our success is measured in our qualitative ability to teach audiences a lesson. So, as I learned how sociopathic behavior can manifest in a seemingly innocent child, I passed that lesson on to the audience. Secondly, seeing humanity in a villain helps audiences learn a different perspective, to find common ground with an enemy or other. Since Stanislavski says that every person is the protagonist in his or her own story, we can teach that concept to audiences by guiding them to recognize elements of their own humanness in a perceived villain. And finally, former FBI hostage negotiator Chris Voss espouses the concept of tactical empathy, which means identifying the perspective of your enemy, especially the parts you don't agree with, and verbally acknowledging it. You show your adversary that you see and value their perspective to get them to trust you. So, according to the FBI, work being done by actors playing villains can literally help save lives. Since we teach audiences that villains aren't necessarily stereotypes, but actual humans with a different subjective sense of right and wrong, we can help them and guide them to compassionately learn how to negotiate in the real world.